We're the fucking fifth fastest growing company in Australia.
Oh my God, he said
I couldn't wait.
I was like, what? Australian Financial Review, fifth fastest growing company in the whole of Australia in every industry. In year one, we did $20,000 of revenue. Year two, we did around 1.25 mil. And then last year, we did 5.92 million.
Which was enough to place us fifth on every single company in Australia in terms of growth over those 3 years. All this shit we're talking about, the wins, they're easy to share.
What you don't know is we had a client go under that owed us 300 grand, but here's what we learned from it. You see so many super successful businessmen and success in quotation marks, like the guys that build $500 million businesses, they're almost always divorced because the family plate just gets fucking left behind. Honestly, if people are listening to this and thinking you two are dickheads, you're probably right. But you're also probably boring.
AFR.
Number 5. Well.
I'll kick us off.
Oh no, that was a start.
Okay. I'll kick us off then. Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the Two Blokes One Business podcast. And today we're giving ourselves massive licks.
Oh, mate. Yeah, we get a bit awkward sometimes. Believe it or not, people probably don't think that because we're quite confident. But when we do these episodes, yes, we talk a lot about our journey and what we've done and what we've achieved, but it's to try and unearth the lessons behind that then hopefully we can pass on to the next generation of aspiring entrepreneurs. But today we're fucking going for it.
We're just going to basically say how good we are, how proud of each other that we are.
Yeah.
So just give us a bit of permission. Like, just fucking give us a second. Let us have a crack. Don't judge us. Don't leave any nasty comments. Just give us a pat on the back and say, well done, boys.
Yeah. But again, there's a lesson behind it because now with what we're going to discuss that we have achieved or been rewarded yesterday, we're discussing today, probably gives a bit of credibility behind all the lessons that we try and give or the bits of advice that we hand out. And again, that's from our lived experience. They won't be right for absolutely everyone. But we feel like now what we've achieved, there should be a bit of weight for people to go, actually, I know they're a pair of pelicans, but they must half know what they're talking about, and maybe I should listen.
That's actually bang on. There's two things, right? One, we think we're decent, and we have thought we're decent for a while, right? We felt we're growing this good business. Now, finally, the numbers reflect that, right? It's not just, look how cool and fun Harwell is. Yeah, that is cool, but there also is a bit of fucking sauce in there as well, where we do generate good numbers. And then if you are listening to this and you feel like, shit, the boys actually talk a bit of sense, now someone else has also proved that we can talk some sense as well. So if you are following this blindly, you're doing so in good faith.
Yeah.
Because we're the fucking fifth fastest growing company in Australia.
Oh my God, he said
I couldn't wait.
I was like, what? You always go too early, don't you? Oh, come on. Yeah. Australian Financial Review, fifth fastest growing company in the whole of Australia. In the whole of Australia, in every industry. That's not just recruitment. That is every company in Australia. The whole of Australia. Number 5.
So give us a spiel, mate. AFR, what does that mean?
That is the Australian Financial Review, which effectively is a news outlet which publishes on the Australian economy. And every year they run a fastest growing 100 list. I'd say so. When the financial year closes in July, at the end of June, 1 July, you submit an application based on your growth. They track 3 years of financial results. So for us, it would have been effectively the first year. I think we managed to sneak in by 2 or 3 months of trading history, and then 2 full years for that after us. And what they do is they track your CAGR growth, which is your compound annual growth rate. I fucking love this shit. Hey?
No, that's really fucked it up.
Yeah. That is your growth percentage across those 3 years. So for context, us, I think in year one, we did $20,000 of revenue. We were very, very new to the world, which is over the threshold that you require. Then I think in year 2, we did around 1.25 mil. And then last year, we did 5.92 million. So effectively, it's that growth from year 1 to year 3. And ours was pretty fucking large.
So the 20K to 5.9 mil, the percentage was
1,624.8%.
bang, which was enough to place us 5th on every single company in Australia in terms of growth over those 3 years.
Yeah. I was looking at the list. It came out like yesterday morning. I was like on my phone trying to get, I actually paid to get access to it because I was like, wanted to know where we came. And just like we always do, I've gone, another 2.1%, we'd have been 4th. And then I did look below and I was like, we came 5th by 0.2%. So there is a company that sat in 6th going, oh, you bugger.
If they'd have worked just a little bit harder, they'd have fucking done us. Unlucky.
But I bet they didn't have 10 candidates fucking take counter offers.
100%.
So
no, that's really cool. And it actually is cool. Like, I think we've had a lot of pats on the back throughout the last couple of years, which they're really nice, and it's important to, receive those well and reflect on them. This is nice because it's nothing about me and you as people. It's purely numbers driven, right? So as much as we think we are decent blokes and we've got a good team and a good culture, and clients get a good service and candidates enjoy working with us, and the people, the coaches that we work with feel like we're worth investing time into, that's all really nice. But that's because of me and you as our soft skills and as people and just the way we operate. This is just hard numbers. What's on your bottom line? What was your percentage in year 1? Or what was your dollars in year 1? What was your dollars in year 3? There's your percent. Where do you stack compared to everyone else? It definitely wouldn't feel as special if we were sat here 5th, but our team fucking hated us. Everyone dreaded coming to work. Yeah. It'd have been a soulless 2-3 year shift and journey to get here. But it's been kind of the opposite, to be honest. And this is the cherry on the top. Icing on the cake.
Same thing, different. Oh, well, you can put icing and
I'll
then
go for icing.
Icing, then a cherry. God. Maybe would have come 3rd.
So true. And have diabetes.
Yeah, that's probably the proudest thing is that we also, a couple of months ago, we probably let it go under the radar a little bit. We won the Mayor Breakthrough Culture Awards. Basically, that means that people here like working here. Which is really nice because, as you say, in the business world, you have companies that grow really quickly, but it's a revolving door because sometimes when you want to grow that aggressively, that's the only way you can do it. You just manage with an iron stick, really, and it's just by the numbers. Even when businesses mature and private equity come into the business, you always see a massive transition of turnover because it's just managed by the numbers and they don't really consider the people too much. They definitely consider them, but when push comes to shove, the decision's made by the numbers. Whereas, although we've lost a few people, like turnover hasn't been 0, probably because the business has evolved so quickly and what people signed up for on day 1 within 6 months, it was a different environment altogether. So we respect that. So turnover has not been 0, but the crew we've got now, we feel are all on the same page and they all love being here, which really is the icing and the cherry on the top of the cake.
And the chocky sprinkles.
And the chocky sprinkles. So that's been really cool. But I think for us, AFR, the evolvement, it comes at a right time in terms of the evolvement of the business. And what I mean by that is we were just 2 lads that probably had more confidence than sense, left a big global, thought we could do it for ourselves. And again, it was going to be a lifestyle business, working out of Adam's spare room or kitchen, wherever we were, and sitting on the beach for a little bit. But it didn't. It grew. But even back then, we were the underdog. Like, we're just the 2 young lads making a bit of noise. People probably thinking, like, what are these 2 doing? But we loved being the underdog. And then it evolves and you get bigger, you hire a team. And I think we still made a fair bit of noise. And that's why the kind of momentum carried us through. But really, we were probably still potentially viewed as, the little old Gold Coast startup. And a lot of people were probably watching going, when's this going to come apart? And it definitely, you put too many wrong moves, it definitely could. But now for me, this is a big part of, okay, now we've made the noise, we've done really well. We've come to the Gold Coast market with something very different. The response has been great. Now we've got the ultimate credibility to go on top of it.
Not little old Harwell anymore.
Nah, because we're just getting started, mate. Like the conversation we had with a chap this morning and, another chap that we've got lined up coming in the new year, and all of the work we're doing behind the scenes in the business and on the back end is to make this scalable to a certain extent. We don't want a 50-person agency, but we think with 12 to 15 people in-house, supported by the right offshore remote professionals and the right tech and AI, we think we can dominate quite heavily on the Gold Coast. And that is 1,000,000% the plan.
Fuck yeah. It feels like a really good, not end of a chapter, but a really good time to stop and reflect. You know, maybe this potty, that's what it's about. Okay, it's been a 2.5 year sprint.
Yeah.
How did we grow so quick? What did we get really right? What actually fucking hindered us a little bit, and what's actually held us back from going even further, or what's been painful? We'll share that as well. Share the work we're doing now for this next stage of growth. Because if you think of it on a graph, right? A graph, we've kind of gone up and now we're just leveling out a little bit on purpose. So at June this year, we said, okay, it's been mental. If we're going to keep going like this, we need to slow down and get things in place. So when we go and add 2 more, 3 more, 4 more people, there you get the support, the guidance, the clarity they need, rather than it all just being in mine and Harvey's head. So we'll dive into what we're doing there, what's exciting, what we're learning for the first time as well, because I think that's another part of it. We've never done SOPs and whatever else we'll cover. We'll share about that too. And then I think how we're going to use AFR. I think that'll be really interesting. That one just popped into my head. This was on the run sheet.
He always fucking does this.
I just get carried away. But so Greg, we've got this bit of credibility now with what we've got going on with Harwell, with this podcast, with the Recruitment Agent Institute. What's our thinking now to leverage this? All right, what are some of the conversations you've had with Rosie about how are we going to fucking maximize and make sure everyone in this market who we want eyeballs on us for knows that we've grown, we've done well, and we're the 5th fastest growing company. And then why? Why do you want eyeballs on it? And then what's that going to give us? I reckon that'd be a really cool take.
Yeah, the messaging's, you got to get the messaging right. We had a really good marketing strategy meeting with Rosie and Jess yesterday, and I spoke about the messaging, and I think the awards just come out, right? And as with this podcast, I think it's permission to celebrate, I think, and reflect is the big one. But I think the longer time goes on, the more it has to be why the credibility affects our end user. Not about us. We're so good. We're so great. It's like, okay, this is what we've won. This is the credibility. Now, why does it affect you as the potential client that uses Harwell, or the job seeker that's going to trust Harwell with your next move? And that's just Harwell. You know, then why does that credibility through Harwell complement our AI? Well, because we've just packaged up everything that we've used and learned and effectively experienced in growing Harwell to that level. We're now packaging that up into an online platform for other people to try and replicate the same. They might not want to get to this size, but use the systems, the procedures, you know, and the content, and it will work. Now it's not just us saying, "Oh, we've done really well."
Yeah,
we've got the actual fucking cold hard truth behind it.
Bang. Let's go with the journey till now, then, mate.
Yeah.
In 2.5 years, you mentioned earlier we started out just to try and work 20, 30 hours a week, make a bit of money, spend some time on the beach, proper lifestyle business.
Yeah.
All right. And we fucking could have done it as well, but we didn't. We got carried away. And now here we are, which I'm so glad we did. But in the early days, it was all energy. It was looking each other in the eye, going, mate, the only way this thing fails is if a meteor hits the earth. We will do anything and everything to make this a success. So pure, just burning desire. Not a load of strategy, not a load of process, not all these amazing systems and ideas, just knowing that we know the activities to do to make money in recruitment. We're going to do fucking 10 times what we've ever done before, because that's the only way we'll lose if we don't.
Business is very, very simple at that level. Knowing the things that you need to do and doing the things that you need to do. Like, that's what people probably don't get the blend right. Sometimes they'll try and do all the things, but they don't really know the things, and they're just running around like headless chickens. Or they'll spend months or years obsessing over this amazing strategy without doing any of the things. So they know all the things, but they don't do the things. And by the time they actually get around to thinking about doing the things, all the things they know are outdated. So it's like, it's that middle ground of knowing enough and you know, obsessing over your craft, but then actually going and putting it into action. Action takers, we say it so much on this podcast. That's what it's all about. It's actually doing it. But I think one of the best lessons we had early doors and through the actual story, like, it wasn't meant to be this. We made a change in our lives and we made a big decision to go out and do this for ourselves. But destination one was to work 20, 30 hours a week, earn X amount of dollars, and have X lifestyle. So for people listening, you don't need to craft. You don't listen to Harwell in the present day and go, well, I'm just working in a salary job. How the fuck do I get there? Because we didn't know. In all honesty, we're still working it out now. At the start, we just had destination 1. Like with our AI, Ben Handler said, just get version 1 out.
Yeah.
Get it out, get feedback, pivot, work it out from there.
Go from there. When did the decision change then? When did the first evolution of Harwell come in? Like, so I guess real quickly, our first month out of the traps at Harwell, we did $122,000.
124.
124,
Yeah.
happy days. And we spent that at fucking Burley Pub.
It was like 122 after Burley Pub.
So we, obviously all the fear, all the uncertainty, all the nervousness, all the, oh shit, have we done the right thing? We steam out the traps for month 1. So we do 122 grand, 124 grand. Massive. And then we believed our own bullshit. And then we started taking 2-hour lunch breaks, showing around Pack Fair. We're rocking up late. We're not doing the graft that we kind of promised each other we would a month before. And then we do 8K between the two of us for the month. We're going, oh, fuck.
That's 8. That's a single 8, not 8-0 or 1-8.
Yeah.
8.
That's, oh, fuck, here we go. Like, which was the best lesson we could have learned, because what it taught us is when we're on, it will work. But as soon as we take the foot off the gas, as soon as we think we've made it, it all fucking falls apart. And the best thing that ever happened was learning that so early on, so then we could fix it rather than learn it a year in.
We had the first 2 months in Harwell were the 2 best lessons we could have possibly had. We had the lesson number 1 of probably the validation that we could do this for ourselves and we didn't need the security of a big brand or a salary. It's that belief. And the direct reward of grafting, working hard. Like, we were doing some big hours. I remember I'd turn up at yours at 7, work till 4, go home, do like dinner time and bath time with Blake, and then 7 o'clock I'd be back on LinkedIn Recruiter till 9 at night, just peppering out messages. So it's like, at the core, when you do the work, you do the things and you know the things, it works. And then the second best lesson we could have had was, don't get too cocky, lads, because this could all come crashing down very, very quickly.
I don't remember the numbers after that, but it would have been a steady 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 kind of climb up until Christmas. Now, December, or coming up to Christmas, we were going, fuck, I think we built something here. I think we've got something. The feedback from the market was really good. Fee-wise, we were billing really well. And we were kind of turning work away. We were at capacity with the amount of clients and people we could help. So that's when the fucking ambitious side of us took over and said, well, you know what? Let's actually have a crack. While we've got momentum, let's give this thing a nudge. And then we decided to start the labour hire division.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, we looked at external circumstances. I know I definitely did. Like, as much as internally we're going, we're getting a great response, we're getting good results, probably more work than we can actually service at the moment or service to the level we wanted. But then I was looking around externally and going, in our patch, who are we up against? I think we have better processes than them. I think we have more energy. I think we have more work ethic. So I'm looking around going, internally, I think we've got what we need. But then externally, I'm like, I back us to beat a lot of you. Not all the time, like that's impossible. But over a period of time, if we decide to grow and try and replicate what we've got in other people, I was just like, I think it's only a matter of time.
So then we thought, fuck it, here we go. Yeah. So we got our first office in Miami. I still look back, so nostalgic with that. It was a little fucking pokey little thing. We spent all of Christmas holidays painting it a beautiful white. We got a big LED sign that cost us $5,000 that we put on the front. We had our faces on the windows just for that visibility. Everyone driving past that GC highway knew exactly knew where Harwell lived. Right, and the amount of messages we used to get. Ballsy, yes. Did we feel like knobs sometimes? But that was a massive, not a fork in the road moment, but having the balls to put a big LED sign on this fucking building on the highway and then put our faces on it got us so much visibility and awareness of the business, which then we leveraged again. So we got Andy in here and we had someone to help him build out labour hire. They worked together at Hayes. So they kind of knew what they were doing. They essentially were just using Harwell to grow the division, right? So it was pretty low risk in terms of the uncertainty of will it work, but it was high risk because it would have a slow burner and labour hire. It's very different to our world where you get paid 20, 25, 30 grand for one placement. Theirs is all an hourly margin. So you have to build up your volume of workers. So it takes a lot of time to ramp up, which means then the profit that me and Harvey were lucky to have made, we're then reinvesting that back in and essentially propping up a labour hire division, which isn't making money for 6 months.
The new office, a couple of learns. Because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, we burnt a lot of cash on that office. Like we probably spent 10K fitting it out with all the work we were doing and all the furniture and things like that. The sign, the stickers. And I'm like, we ripped out the kitchen. There was like a little kitchenette. We ripped it out and put a brand new one in. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, is it a learn going, fuck, we burnt a lot of cash on that. Maybe we shouldn't have. But then I'm also like, is that what made it? Is that what helped kick us on? Because it's like, one of the things I think we've shared previously is if we think like $100 million company, naturally you're going to gravitate towards that level. Whereas if you just think you're just a fucking shit little startup and it's a bit cowboyish or like there's no process, like do you then drop to that sort of standard? So I'm trying to unpack what the biggest lesson there was. Because I wouldn't change it.
Nah, neither. And I was so proud of it. I mean, that was a big thing. I was proud to go, yeah, this is our fucking office. This is Harwell. And get people in, come have a look. And everyone would walk in and go, wow, this is so cool. How good. You get to work with your best mate and you're just doing this and you're doing that. Yeah. And it probably then had that secondary feedback and the belief to then go, yeah, you know what, we are a proper business, which then would have kicked us on to hire again, which we'll speak about. But the grand plan was to stay there and just kind of rip, you know, team of 4, labour hire division, how good, and stay there forever. And then it happened again. Too much work. Labour hire guys are going really well. We needed to hire someone to work with me in construction, someone to work with Harv's in finance, but there wasn't room in that office. That literally 6 months early, we signed a 2-year lease on to fit everyone in. So that new kitchen, the painted walls, all of that. Hey, Mr. Landlord, yeah, this isn't going to work. We actually need to move out because we've hired 2 people and we're going to grow and whatever else. So
I think that's why recruitment's so good. Like, again, I'm thinking takeaways for the listeners about picking a potential business. Like, you think of like to a certain extent, I know Mads has done one, but your family circumstances are different. But if you needed to earn cash quickly and you don't have a decent chunk of capital to invest, like ecom is a real tough thing to get started. Recruitment's so good because it's zero overhead, zero investment other than a laptop. Like you can do it from your fucking spare room, like we said, but it's such a high ticket service. If I'm sat there going, okay, I've got a business idea, I'm listening to this podcast, start looking at the price people would pay you for what you do and how quickly you can get that through the door and what it costs you to sell one of your products or to create one transaction. And that's why we are probably lucky in the sense and able to have such quick growth, because at the start overheads were relatively low, but the product was so high ticket. So I think on our perm recruitment division, profit margins were probably 70%.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So that creates a lot of capital and cash to then invest back into the business, which means you then can decide to go and cash flow a labour hire division, which was a slightly different business model, but you've got the money to cash flow it because when you look longer down the road, it's a very, very nice part of the business because it's recurring revenue. We know we come into each month with X amount guaranteed. So that's when it starts to get fun because you've got the money to start playing with and make those decisions. And as you obviously shared, we then decided to hire a few more staff and move to a much bigger facility, which was completely furnished. So the fucking desks went on Marketplace. The sign got taken off the front. The stickers got ripped off, and we go again.
What we didn't do at that point in time was actually have any kind of process. We didn't have the Harwell Way, which we're working on at the moment. Right, the construction world was in my head, the finance world was in your head. Luckily, Andy just does what he does, so he doesn't need much from us.
Yeah.
But then hiring people to work with us, we kind of set them up for fail on 2 parts. The first one being when we interviewed them and met them, we just gave them the rainbows and butterflies of what life is going to look like. Because for us, it's definitely not easy, but it's definitely moves fairly seamlessly because of the relationships we've got and the work we've done previously. Whereas for them coming into it from scratch, there's a lot of grunt work to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think the number one problem you can have in any business is people. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but there's a reason people pay recruiters so much money to find the right people. And they're one of the only things in the business that have a million different thoughts, emotions, and fucking moods depending on the day. Like, there's so many variables. So they're always going to be your biggest problem. So I think when you couple that with maybe you don't give them the right information, maybe you haven't got the correct systems and procedures set up for those people, that already super complex being just becomes way more complex, and the variable outcomes that you're going to get from that person are so fucking so much more, because you haven't got them. You always got to channel them into this box of like, you're the right person, you're amazing, you're super talented, you got the right drive because of this. This is the Harwell box that you're going to perform within. As long as you stick between those guardrails, still have your own pizzazz and your own personality, but there's the guidance. Whereas ours was more like that.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is Harwell, this is recruitment, there's your phone, there's your laptop.
And our big thing is authenticity, right? So we wanted people to be themselves and kind of do what feels natural, which is so right. But I think the word you said there, guardrails, is so important, because you are still representing Harwell. And this is how Adam does things. This is how Harvey does things. And as a collective, this is what the business is about. But we didn't know that at the time.
It's just naivety, mate.
Yeah, we couldn't share it, right? And I'm sure the people we had around us at the time, we got good support and everything else, but I think they would have looked at us going, boys, do it, go hard, making mistakes. Unfortunately, learn and then get it right the next time round, which so far so good, right? And now when we interview people, yes, we obviously say what the positives are about working here, but we also say, hey, you only get to this point by a lot of hard work, by obsessing over self-development and personal development, obsessing over offering an elite service. This doesn't come handed to you. It's tough.
Yeah, the best thing you can do in business is go out and make mistakes early on, because you make mistakes, and as long as you're the right sort of person and you have the right attitude, we became a lot better business because of the mistakes we made. And I hand on heart can say that every single person that has left this business, we've become a better business because of it. Not because, not a personal thing about those people, but us as a business and owners, we've reflected and we've gone, where were the gaps in our leadership? Where were the gaps in our process? Did we set them up for success? Were there any things that we did really well that we need to replicate? Were there any things that were terrible that we need to obviously fix? And I think by those mistakes, we've then reflected, we've felt the pain. We've gone, okay, there's some things we need to work on. So the next person that comes in gets maybe a 50% better experience. And, most of them have worked. And then now, because we've got more tangible evidence of what has worked to them, well, let's amplify those things that have worked along with the original things that did work. So then the next people get a 50% better experience again. Then the turnover starts to slow down and you get more longevity.
And I think it's similar to how I tell people when they start with me in recruitment, right? There is 100 mistakes to make. You either can make them within a month, 6 months, a year, or 10 years. The quicker you make those mistakes, the quicker you'll learn from them and be way better for it. So we're lucky that we've grown so quick. We've managed to make these fucking 100 mistakes in a really short space of time. And yes, there's more to go and we'll fuck more things up. But what we've learned over these last 18 months, well, before we got to where we are current state, has just been an absolute roller coaster.
Yeah, and there's obviously levels to the mistakes that you can make. Again, like for someone listening to this thinking, well, fuck, what does that look like? A decision or a framework we used to go through when we're bringing someone into the business or thinking about investment, it's what's the release valve? So for us, we knew 12 weeks was probably the sweet spot. We'd know if someone would work, or we'd need to bankroll a new hire for 12 weeks before they start pulling money back through the door. So we go, okay, that might be 30 grand per person. Our release valve is, are we happy to throw 30 grand at this person? We know all the potential positives. If it doesn't work after 12 weeks, we have to let them go and the 30 grand's gone. Are we comfortable with that? Now, for us at our stage of business, the money we had in the bank, that investment was a small percentage. So we go, okay, we know we can do this. If I was in the cosmetics world, and I know that my investment was $100,000 of capital into 3 new products that you are new and you don't know if they're going to sell, you probably want to work that decision out before you just go, I'm going to make 10 of those mistakes, because you might not have $1 million to burn. So make as many of the mistakes as possible. When they're mistakes that there's not huge dollar value to it, they're easier to make, to cop and go, okay, now I'm going to move on. But probably even that dialogue of going, my release valve for this decision is this. If it doesn't work, am I comfortable? Yes, because then if it doesn't work, it's not this big shock of, I've wasted 30 grand. I'm so annoyed. You just go, cool. I knew that this was the potential outcome. I'm comfortable with that decision. Pack that away. What did I learn? What went well? On to the next one.
And that's just people, right? So far, we've shared a lot about the people. What about the client who went undone as 100 grand?
Fucking hell.
That was not
they
ideal.
actually owed us $306,000, but luckily we only copped about 100 grand of it.
Yeah.
That was a learn because
Massively.
we had a structure where we were paying people commission before the money was into our bank. And again, early on when the numbers were a lot smaller, we were able to do that and bankroll it. But as numbers get bigger, all of a sudden your runway is not as big. One, for the paying out before the money comes in, but then in the circumstances where the fucking money doesn't come in, it's just a bit of a mess.
It's so hard, isn't it? Because that client in particular, there were kind of rumblings. And looking back, if we were super, super conservative, we'd have pulled the workers away quicker.
That would never happen now.
Well, like we did with the second client, right?
Yeah.
That I spoke about this morning, right? Similar thing. We're making got a lot of workers out there, but things started getting missed. And we're looking at each other going, okay, with labour hire, the way it works is if there's a client who owes us 100 grand, we're actually only taking about 10 of that because the other 90 goes towards paying the candidate's wages, super, payroll tax, all of the bullshit on top.
Cover.
So we're okay, it's 100 grand bet to make 10.
I ain't seen a horse that fucking's that quick yet.
Yeah. So it gets a lot easier to put the greed away. Oh, I don't mean greed's a word. Put the upside down. Put the upside away and look at the downside and take that a lot more seriously now because we've been burnt once. So again, a great lesson. Did it cost us 100 grand? Yes. Would I rather have the 100 grand for sure? But that 100 grand could have cost us a 300 grand mistake 6 months later.
Yeah. Cash. Do you know what? And we probably say so many things on here that people go, oh, that's so cliche. I've heard it all before. And we're like, but it's real. Yeah. I remember early on when we started to grow, everyone used to go, cash is king. Yeah. Like your cash flows everything, cash in the bank. And I'm like, yeah, but we've got 500 grand owed to us on our receivables and we're still crunching in deals and like cash is king. And then that happens and you're like, oh, you're bloody right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What's another big lesson, mate? I think let's talk about the things that we've done well.
Yeah.
So what can people take from this journey that we've done well that they can try and replicate in their own? Like for us, we had a conversation with a fellow we're trying to hire this morning and the company he's working for, quite transactional, would you say?
Extremely.
We're quite the opposite. We actually wanted to play the longer game a little bit when we had the money in the bank and we had runway to pay ourselves, which was milestone number one. We actually then played the long game. It's like now build relationships and build a business for the future. Because now we're sat here today and me and Ads don't really do much cold BD, if anything. And we're still punching out some great figures, but it's all work that gets called in. I had an 8-day period, probably going back 3 weeks, and it was like $110,000 worth of work was called in just from 4 or 5 inbound phone calls because we've played the long game and we've built those relationships where people have a good experience and want to come back to us.
And content, I think, and this is probably the biggest shift for recruitment because it's quite traditional and it's the easiest way to stand out from the crowd is we've been ballsy as with video content, this podcast, just being very vocal and front facing to the market about who we are at Harwell, what we're about, the way we operate, the kind of service to expect, the way we are as people as well to hopefully connect with, which ruffles feathers. Like we've all heard grumbles and whispers of fucking Harwell, who they think they are doing that fucking shit. But they're the people who are too scared to ever do it. So
it comes from a place of insecurity, isn't it? It's like when you make a change or when you start a business or you start not drinking and some people in your close circle, oh, you've changed, I've grown. And it's probably because they're highlighting that because you're showing or exploiting their insecurities.
Moving further away.
Yeah. It's the purple cow, isn't it?
Nice.
The 100th cow. Like it's such a simple story, but it's the concept of there's 100 cows in the field, 99 of them are just normal black and white cows, and the 100th cow is purple. Which cow are you going to remember? Which cow are you going to notice? It's the purple one, and I think that's probably what we leaned into subconsciously with that video content. Like, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram at Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app.
Recruitment has always been done one way, and the shit job posts, like it's the same jargon, the same opener, and it's just the list of the salary, the location, a benefit, the job title. It's the same from every recruiter across the globe. It's like all of a sudden there's some spanner or two spanners walking through Ads' complex with their sunnies on, talking about a job. But it worked because it was the purple cow.
Got cut through, right? Got you on the phone with people. And there's a million different things we could share about how we actively try and do that. Maybe that's for another day. And the next big one is paying to play. We paid for so many coaches, so many mentors, put ourselves in rooms that we probably don't belong in, but we're in there because we've either built a relationship with someone who's got us in there, or we paid to play to be in the room. That's been the biggest factor of the growth of us as a business, but also us individually. At the level of work we've done, to go, how the fuck do we get better as leaders, as managers, as billers, as business owners? And again, it's another cliche thing, right? The best investment you can ever make is on yourself, but it truly is.
Yeah, and so many people, even from conversations we've been having recently about RAI, like people are so hesitant. They'll invest on so many other things, but the last thing or person they want to invest in is themselves, when really you are your most valuable asset.
100%.
Like without yourself, like you're nothing. It's like we're so happy to chuck 50 grand at a car on finance and pay 20k fucking interest on that. But then you won't go and invest on yourself to, one, become a better person, but also create a better future, not only for yourself and your family. It's an interesting concept. It only really came into my head then.
And as you're saying that, I'm thinking of the other types of investing you can do. Property, stocks, both of those, if you still choose to invest in yourself first, build your knowledge about property and about stocks, you will then go and make a shitload more money when you chuck in your bit of capital into either of those forms of investment, right? So it all just comes back to build your brain. Build your brain, build your awareness. Something I used to say all the time at the start is, and obviously you can't see this if you're listening, but your world is this big, right? Like a small circle.
That's pretty small, just for the listeners.
100%.
I'll describe.
Thanks, mate. So the world's this big when you first start, or when we first started at Harwell.
Yeah.
And then we started a podcast, and then we started speaking to people who actually knew way more, who all get to be bigger.
Hands are further apart. It's bigger.
Yeah, 100%.
The hands.
And then we start growing the business even more. So we've got to learn from Jess Cameron about how to train teams and like the kind of questions we can have. How big is that now?
Fuck, pretty big.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then all the other work we do, right? And now my world is this big, and I know,
Fucking hell.
I actually know what I don't know now. Okay,
Yeah.
rather than at the start, you think you know everything. Now the world gets so big, which actually is scarier because, as I said, you know what you don't know. So it depends how you're wired for that excites us, because we go, shit, look how far we've got to go. Like we're connected with some incredible business owners, and then we run through their business and we're going, fuck, we have a million miles until we get there. But I want to know that. I'd hate to be sat here now thinking, oh, fifth and the AFR, we've made it. This is the limit. Like it's 2 years ago, if we were sat here right now, I'd have gone, I don't think there's any much more you can do, lads. But now I know that we literally are 1% of the way.
I sit here today. I shared this with my mum because she's over at the moment from England, and just reflecting. Like we knew this was coming out. We didn't know where we were, but we knew it was coming out. And I'm like, look at Harvell Ads 2.5 years ago, miles apart, like almost 10 years apart in the growth and the development. But then I feel like I feel like I know less now than I did back then.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's almost like we're 1% of the way. So it's a bit of a head fuck. But I think at a very basic level, the lesson was that we just became personal and self-development junkies.
Nice.
Not only knowledge-based in terms of recruitment, but business. We're listening to psychology, but also, obviously we train our brains as well. We've learned more about ourselves. That's probably one of the most powerful learnings, is learning how we both operate. What are our cues for when we're stressed? What are our cues for when we're feeling unfulfilled? And always dialing back in, because that's when we perform at our best. But then physically as well. I think we're probably the most fit we've ever been. And we've played football, and we were pro footballers for 5 minutes. I'm fitter now, like going and crunching a sub-4 marathon. Like I'm way fitter and disciplined now in that sense. And even my eating and the way we operate than what we ever have been.
I think it just builds your whole life. Like when we used to work where we worked, I had work, Adam, and then you had outside of work, Adam, right? And they might have similar traits, different characteristics. Now it's all just a one big holistic life, because I understand how, my lifestyle feeds into my work, which feeds into my mental state, which feeds into my relationships. So you kind of and looking down at all the different parts of your life, don't you? And seeing how they're pieced together rather than just, okay, I'm going to work now and everything else gets shut out, which is kind of what bosses tell you to do. Leave your shit at the door, like don't bring that stuff to work.
It's there.
It
impacts it.
But on the flip side, then, if you leave your shit at the door, okay, what about all the physical training I've been doing so now I feel awesome? You want to leave that at the door or no, because that's going to benefit you?
Yeah, the best way to probably visualize it is like if you're spinning plates, what would your plates be? So you'd have business or career, you'd have family, you'd have finance, you'd have physical wellness, spirituality, mental wellness kind of ties into that, and then probably like food and health. And like if you just fucking rip in and spin in the business plate or the career plate over here, the family one, the self, with the mental health, the physical health, they're all going to start to slow down and eventually fall over. That's why you see so many super successful businessmen, and success in quotation marks, like the guys that build $500 million businesses, they're almost always divorced because the family plate just gets fucking left behind. So many people going like, they need to make a change. They're going to become physically fit. I'm going to go to the gym. Actually, the real problem might actually be the mental health plate, because you need to reframe a few things and build some habits in your brain, which then makes spinning the fitness plate really, really easy, rather than trying to get out of bed at 5 every day, but I haven't changed my mental state to know why I'm doing this. And then all of a sudden it becomes easier. So it's having to juggle, go in between all of it, isn't it?
It's so funny, isn't it? Like, we just sit here now and I wish we could interview the old Adam and Harvey and just go, fuck you guys, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
They tell you to shut up because they're a cocky little twat.
Yeah. We're still working it out now, to be honest.
Yeah. Fuck, it's good fun. What's next, mate? There's a couple bits I've got, I reckon. What are we doing now? We've kind of covered up wins and the losses to now. What's going on right now to make sure that next phase of growth is controlled? Or have you got something better for?
No, I like that. I really like that, because I think it's the different maturity levels that your business goes through. There's one here on our preparation sheet. There's actually you haven't given us any quotes in a while. You got one off the bat for us?
Yeah, I definitely could.
Oh God,
it's coming.
You're gonna do it backwards or the right way?
Yeah. Oh fuck, what is it? It's something. Bugger. I can't remember the words at all, but I'll try and just spit something out.
Yeah, here we go. I love these ones. These are the best ones.
Make sure you don't get so caught up running so fast that you end up running in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all right. You kind of get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, chuck that into ChatGPT and the Hormozy GPT will polish that one up for you.
But what I'm trying to say there is, I guess, don't be so pig-headed and stubborn with this is what the business is going to be, that you end up going really, really far. And then at one point you get there and you go, fuck, this isn't actually the one I wanted to take. And then you've got to go all the way back before you go forwards again.
I don't care what all the hundreds of people messaging the Instagram page going, these quotes are shit. That is fucking gold.
Appreciate it.
No worries. Mate, the only other thing we had in here was a bit of failure, like the stuff that actually hurt. I think we've probably discussed.
Fucking wasn't pretty.
That was not pretty. I think again.
Actually, here's one for you.
All right.
If, say you actually know us quite well personally, right? You listen to this, you wouldn't have known that we lost 100K.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean by that?
100%.
Let's unpack that. Because all this shit we're talking about, the wins, they're easy to share and people probably have a higher perception of how well we're doing. Like everyone always thinks, puts you on a pedestal a little bit. But the losses, obviously you don't share them. Really two sides. One, you don't want to seem like a victim. You don't want people's like pity. But two, bit of ego as well.
I think I've shared it to close people in conversation when we're talking about the business, and they might be asking, again, they're sat on a business idea or they've got idea, like they think they're destined for more than a salary job. So they're asking questions about the business. Oh, Zoe, like, what have you done? Like, it's been perfect. You've had crazy growth. And I've gone, yeah, we have. But what you don't know is we had a client go under that owed us 300 grand. We copped 100K effectively. So I shared it in that context, but also, but here's what we learned from it, rather than wallowing in the self-pity and probably letting it rock us. Is that where you're kind of going? Yeah.
And just the action we took out on the back of it. They're a manufacturing company, so we had a lot of good guys working in their kind of warehouses. So bang, well, to more Andy, to be fair, he actually did the work. Bang, we were straight on the phone to other manufacturing companies to get the workers out there. So as much as we lost 100 grand, we managed to not lose all of the projected future earnings as well by having no workers. We got them out somewhere else, which recouped a bit of the money.
It's been able to deal with shit that goes wrong, but then just keep moving in the right direction. And this isn't just in business. This is just at any time in life. Like, I know your partner cheats on you, whatever it might be. Like, yes, feel the emotion, be upset, but by crying about it or fucking moaning and shit like that, they're not going to uncheat on you. Like, by us sitting there and telling loads of people, feel sorry for me, the company aren't going to turn back up and go, we're joking, here's your money. Like, there you go. So it's just like, what can you just keep doing to have a bulletproof mindset? Although things definitely do rock you more than others at times, but that reset or that reframe is just go, nah, come on, this is the mission. This is how we do it. This is how we move forward. Because the first few hurt, like, don't get me wrong, because they're new. But then after that, like, again, if a client went under today that owed us 100 grand, I know that we'd be absolutely fine.
And I think, yeah, 100% right. But it wouldn't get to that point because there'd be conversations beforehand, which is probably the magic. I thought that was an interesting one. But what's life today then, mate? So we're working our cocks off. I probably can't say that. I'm going to say socks.
Not after you've just had your hands like this.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty big now.
Do you reckon this is going to be what kills us, right?
Yes.
Because we get a lot of decent feedback on this pod. But do you reckon we're never going to have a like, proper blow up because of some of the rogue shit?
Yeah, 100%. Fuck. Or if we do and some Pelicano goes back and listens to a few of the early episodes.
Working our socks off then. We're documenting all the SOPs. We're documenting the Harwell Way, which is the recruitment process, which is, it's pretty stock standard for the most part, but it's the depth and the detail within each step. Okay, we're putting that down on paper. So now for Jax, who's already here, and Katie, they can kind of have something to measure against. But anyone new, they've got the full step-by-step. They've got SOPs and templates on it. They've got videos of us talking about, okay, this is why we ask this question, where this is the power of the tone to ask that question in. So then we get that sorted, then we'll move on to more the client-facing stuff just to replicate. And when people start now, they don't need Adam for 20 hours to go and sit through this. They've got it all there for them. So as much as we're spending, 30, 40 hours, probably at least now putting it all together, that's only a one-off. And then we can just coach the top 20% rather than the full 0 to 100 when people do start for the first time.
There's two parts to it. I think the very high level overview is we are trying to build a business where someone could walk in off the street, wouldn't need to speak to me or you on the way through the door, and they could plug in and play into this business. Or when people are in the business, they can find all the answers they need without Harvey and Adam. That's when you got a proper business. Otherwise, we're just a bottleneck. So it's, can we build an infrastructure that doesn't need us? That's the promised land. And then the other side is, like you said, it's that top 10%. Because every recruitment company in the world will have some sort of document of their process. And even the big globals, we've been inside it, they have their process, but it's very, very, very basic. It's just what they're doing. It's do this, do that. Whereas we try and thread in the actual psychology and the power behind it. It's not just, at this point, you ask for a trial close. So this is how you ask for a trial close. This is the different tonality you do. This is how you structure the conversation. You pull off your previous conversations, which you should have ticked the box. You then take them into future. It's just that, all of that packaged up there is going to get so much better results than if the prompt is just trial close.
100 billion %.
And someone goes, oh, mate, yeah, I've spoke to the client. They've offered you 120K plus super. Do you want to accept? Rather than, hey, mate, incredible news. They've offered you the salary that we've discussed previously. As you said on the last phone call, you're happy to move forward. What we've actually spoke about with the hiring manager is I'll get your details now so they can start getting your contracts ready. Then we'll do all the references. At the moment, they're looking like potential start date of 20th of December.
Yeah. How does that work? Perfect.
Cool.
100%.
And that's on every process.
Yeah, it's been detail heavy.
My head hurts.
But it's exciting as well. Like, we love doing it because we love being able to get all this stuff that's in our brain down on paper, right? And now that's what makes Harwell what it is. So when new people start, they can go, okay, great, I know what the level is. Which then the next one is probably, we do a lot of work with a company called EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And they're essentially management what are they? How do you describe them? Like a business coaching,
business operating system.
Yeah, business operating system where they come in, they've got this tried and tested, I guess, formula for how you map out your goals, how you set your mission statement, your values, what numbers you track as well, your meeting cadences to track those numbers. So we've been working for that for 3 or 4 months, which has been good. And when we get to Christmas, we'll have kind of 6 months worth of data on this is the actions we've taken, this is the revenue we've then built. So then we can kind of reverse engineer. Let's use $1 million as a number. If we want to make $1 million for that person, they're currently doing 700, and this is their activity levels. We know we need to bump that up by, I can say 30%, to then go and achieve that. So it's really data driven, which we never ever were, either of us.
Yeah, but it's being very conscious of what is the right data. So again, data for the sake of data is just pisses people off. Right? There's no means to the end, but we have what we call outcomes that matter. So for each role in our business, we go, what are the 4 or 5 metrics, the outcomes that person produces, where if they produce enough of these outcomes, they're hitting targets, they're successful, we're successful. So for example, for a consultant, it is not BD calls. That's a fucking stupid metric, because I could call 20 bakeries as BD calls, but I recruit CFOs.
Yeah.
Pointless. What it actually is, the outcomes that matter are how many jobs did you get on? That's effectively how you make your money. How many jobs did you fill? Because if someone's getting on 1 million jobs and filling one, there's a problem there. How many interviews are people getting across to those jobs, and how many face-to-face client meetings are they having? They're the outcomes that matter, not 40 BD calls, 40 candidate calls, 5 candidate meetings. Yes, all important in the right direction.
Well, they're metrics, right? And
they're metrics. Yeah, they're input, whereas we want to focus on output, because in different sectors of our business and in different businesses, those same metrics will have very different numbers for different people. You can get way more jobs on than what I can, because that's what your market's like. But my fill rate is a lot higher when I do get the jobs on. So to build the same number, like actual physical dollar number, we need a different amount of jobs. So imagine if we were working off the same input-based system.
There's layers in it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Visibility on numbers. And then the whole values that we do have some values that we kind of created when we first started, but they're a little bit cliche, weren't they?
You mean the ChatGPT Harwell acronym?
Those ones. And we revamped them, and now they are good, but there's probably too many. So we're scaling them down just to 4, which we're in the process of doing as well. And all these different bits and pieces. So SOPs, documents, templates, then EOS, what numbers matter. And then I guess after that, it's that interview strategy for us, the onboarding. So we've got someone in. How do we get them set up to make profit as soon as possible, so they're now not an expense to the business owner investment?
On reflection, if we had our time again, like now with the size of the business, the overheads, how reliant it is in a certain extent for me and you to put big numbers through the door, would you do the processes and the systems earlier? Because I'm kind of like, it's the chicken or the egg. Like if we had taken the time to do the processes earlier, would we have billed as much money to then bring the people in to be aware?
I think the answer is yes. Like if we were now just updating processes rather than building from scratch,
we'd
be way better for it. And whether the people were right or wrong, we probably would have got more out of them while we had them, because of the the process they'd had.
So how could we have done that? Because at the time we didn't have that knowledge. Again, maybe taking a bit of our own advice. We obviously had some great mentors that we sought out in certain areas, but then perhaps we could have tried to find a mentor or someone to speak to in that sense earlier. Or did we have the knowledge and it was just something we didn't do?
I don't know.
Or was the person there, but we just didn't ask them?
Yeah, I think we didn't ask the right questions. I'd say, because it's pretty fucking 101, isn't it? Like you need to document what you do so other people can do it as well.
Yeah.
I think we took it for granted.
We had it was all there. It was just all in our heads, which we found out was a nightmare. And this is a great lesson for anyone that's looking to hire people. It's like, get it on paper so they don't need you. And now with AI and the personalized GPTs that you can like build, like we're building GPTs that have our job brief structure, job ad structure, outreach campaign, like frameworks into, so people can just give an information, the job brief or the information about a job, the transcript from a meeting, and say, build out those 3 things based off this. Like it's so easy to replicate, which is why our guys can work at such more volume. So it's easier now. We say all the time when we're doing these, we're like, fuck, imagine doing these without AI
Oh God,
and some of the tech.
Maybe that's probably a good reason why. Like that ChatGPT was very early, so it would have been crap.
Yeah.
When we would have done it a year or two ago. But mate, AFR, so fifth fastest growing company in the country.
Did we win that?
Yeah, someone told me earlier.
Oh, fuck.
How are we going to leverage that? Well, how are we going to use that from a marketing perspective? Why? What results do we want out of that? How is that going to affect the Recruitment Agents Institute? What's the secret sauce from here on in?
Credibility, number one. I jokingly put in my LinkedIn post about it. Hopefully we can drop the little old Gold Coast startup tag. I think people start to know we're very serious. I think we use it to embed or further bed in our current relationships. Like I said, last night to you, I want to send a really nice personalized email to everyone that's used us to hire someone or everyone that's trusted us with their job search, and a massive thank you, and say, look, you played a small part in this achievement.
I love that.
So I think we need to, let those people know that we appreciate them and solidify those relationships so we don't lose them. And then, now have it at the forefront of us moving forward. It might give us the opportunity to go to some bigger cities like Brisbane, where it is probably a lot more corporatized than the Gold Coast, especially in my world. We're only a small team, but this is the credibility we've got behind us to try and give us a different type of business we can win over that will help grow us. I see there the impacts in Harwell, attracting staff. I haven't told you this. There's already one fella that's messaged me on LinkedIn.
Any good?
He's not the right level for what we need right now. But
too junior or too senior? Too junior or senior?
Too junior.
Yeah, okay.
So, but straight away, it's put us in the eyes of these other people. And straight away, hey, mate, we haven't spoken before. Been watching your journey for a while. This is where I'm at. Would be interested to see if there's anything with Harwell.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's the name of the game, right?
That's the name of the game.
Every company, every podcast, people are the hardest thing for any business. So if we can have good people, I'm sure this guy is good, just a little bit too junior, come in and want to work here, that's a lot of headaches solved.
Yeah, so that's one prong. I think to reconnect with perhaps people that we haven't spoken to in a while but are watching. There's a lot of people that have liked my post that have gone, I haven't spoken to you in a year. Yeah. Maybe I thought you weren't interested in us, but you're buzzing for us, you're watching.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think 170 people have liked it. There'll be 60 of them that I need to reconnect with.
Well, how would you do that? I'd go just bang voice note onto LinkedIn.
Yeah, I just say, look, appreciate your support.
Yeah. No, we haven't spoken much.
Probably own it. Just call them out. We haven't spoken much in the last 12 months. Probably you can see now with the with the AFR, we've been heads down, bum up. We're building a structure where it does release myself and ads to do more of this. I want to come sit down with you, see where we can give you some, potentially provide you value.
I love it.
That's Harwell.
Yeah. So how are we going to do this? So we've got some, Tuesday today? Thursday. We've got Serge from Recruitment coming down to do some film with us. So we'll film a load of content, just talking about, similar to this pod really, about the AFR, but more bite-sized chunks, so we can post those everywhere. I think we're going to give it a big run for a few weeks. I think we need to leverage this. So people who are just seeing us for the first time, bang, credibility off the bat. And people who potentially have been watching from afar can get a bit of a look at the journey we've been on. Ryan Tuckwood says it best, you can't sell a secret. So until we do, kind of get over our fear of looking like knobs and being a bit arrogant and just start sharing this kind of stuff, we're hamstringing ourselves in terms of future growth.
Oh, mate, we sat down with Jack Henderson on this podcast. Owns it. This is me. This is it. People might think I'm an arrogant arsehole, but people want to know the journey I've gone to be able to buy a $15 million wedding venue. Because it started at day one with his first property investment, which he now helps people do. They want to hear that story because it inspires them. I think if anyone owns a business now, go and find awards that you are eligible for. I was one of my finance clients. He been in finance all his life, stepped away, owned a bakery with his wife. He's now back in finance, finance leadership. But he was just when we owned the bakery, there was the best bakery in Australia awards. And he's we won the Queensland division. Straight away, you plant that on the front of your shop front in the shopping centre. Oh, best bakery in Queensland. I'll go see what they're cooking up in there. So it could be really good. It's not a bragging content. It's just the credibility. One, for people that do work with you to go, cool, this is why I still trust these guys. And the new people to go, maybe I need to go and experience that because I'm not too happy with my current provider.
Bios-wise, we'll do a bit of work on our Instagram and LinkedIn bios. for sure. Just fuse a bit of that in. Probably needs a bit of love anyway, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is when we're putting content out to the world, especially on LinkedIn, it's like, what does this credibility mean for you, Mr. or Mrs. end user?
Yeah, bang on.
Because it's not just like, oh, look at us, we're so good.
Yeah.
It's why this will impact you, I think.
Agree. And then the big puppy, right? This is what we've been kind of waiting for. And while we've teased Recruitment Agent Institute, we probably haven't gone to market that we launch in Jan. So we are speaking to people now for founding member slots, but this has been the big ticket that we've kind of waited for, because now, again, so Recruitment Agent Institute at a high level, you've been in a career, right? You're qualified up, you've got your uni degree, whatever you've done, you've worked there for a few years. For whatever reason, you don't want to do that forever, but you don't want to go back to zero. So you want to leverage your network, your experience, your qualifications, but you want to do something else that might give you a lot more money, financial freedom, time freedom, might just scratch the itch of being a business owner, might give you that creative outlet, whatever it is. Recruitment Agent Institute will give you the blueprint of the fifth fastest growing company in Australia.
That sounds way better than before. Hey?
Way better. Who also worked at a kitchen table, who also worked for a big global. So we've kind of seen the landscapes at different various points, and we put this all together into one, I guess, online course to teach you the absolute, one, the basics, but then two, kind of level 2, level 3 of recruitment, how to do it really, really, really well. So we'll teach you the skill, the art and the science of recruitment. You bring your network, you bring your expertise, you bring your qualifications, and then what you'll get when we put all this together is you'll have John Smith Recruitment, who are then going to be able to place the exact ICP that you are. So say you're an accountant, you're going to go and start helping accountants find new jobs, helping accounting practices hire new staff. You're an expert, you've been trained in the system that's got us to be the 5th fastest growing company in Australia. How do you lose?
Yeah. And we teach people purely the educational side of this, like the knowledge. Like, we don't help with setting up your business. We don't fucking help with your reconciliations. We don't do your invoices. You don't design a website. There's people for that. Like, you want assistance in that? Go speak to Blake and the guys at Ex-Recruiter. They're brilliant at it. What we want to be is teaching you just purely the content and the way of doing it. And like I said, we felt we had a good process. Hopefully this solidifies that we do. And the transformation we've had and how much we've enjoyed it. I think I put on my Instagram caption yesterday, like, I want to inspire thousands of other people to do the same. Because not just the feeling that I have internally, and yes, I've shared where I was at and where I am now and the journey, but also the life I see my partner having, the life I see my kids having because of this. This is the vehicle to everything. Like, I went home early yesterday from work, and like, I'm sat on the sun lounger in my nice new house on the laptop, and Britt and Blake are in the swimming pool. Mum's sat up on the deck, like, just reading a book. Harwell's the vehicle to all of that. And we're fucking literally giving that to people without getting into pricing, like, at a very, very small percentage of what it will recoup for them.
I'm so excited for this to launch. Like this, I've kind of been holding back until we got this credibility piece now, because now again, it's not just us saying, "Oh, we've actually built a good business." It's proven. So in Jan, that's going to kick off, and the people we've got involved in it, it's going to be a big, big puppy.
Fucking hell, mate! Like, last year we did second full year, $5.92 million. Go do 10% of that. 10% of that, $592,000 in your pocket with very, very minimal overheads. Working from home, picking your own hours, not answering to anyone, providing insane value, getting the fulfillment of helping Dave get a pay rise of 30 grand, moving on in his career, which means his wife can now work part-time and be there for the kids more. And Phil, the business owner, has just got an incredible new CFO, which is going to create him an extra $2 million. Like, all of that into one. It's a really happy life, mate.
I mean, where do I sign up?
I don't know.
But that's been good, mate. Like, I think it's a nice chance to reflect. AFR, top 5, which we were gunning for. We've snagged that. It always comes at a funny time. I told this to you the other day. It always comes at a time when I still feel like I'm a massive underdog. Like, right now, we're knee deep in just getting all this documentation done, onboarding.
It is fun.
Essentially feel like I'm on day one again of building the business, because it's all stuff I haven't done before. So I'm learning how to write SOPs so they are engaging and people actually follow them. We're learning how to do Loom videos so we can talk them through. We're learning how to do AI. So the learning just never stops. And this is an awesome pat on the back. as I said, like with the actions we're taking now, we're still at the bottom of the mountain again, ready to get everything right, get the camping gear on and the hiking gear before we can go and scale another puppy and give it a massive crack again.
Yeah. I reckon we've just done Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, nice.
What's the next biggest one after that?
And that's the second biggest, isn't it? K2.
Oh, shit. What's the smaller one than that?
Mount Kosciuszko. Bit of
Nice.
Australian one.
We've just done that. Next is Kilimanjaro. Then it's Everest. Then it's the moon. Well, I was actually thinking then when you're talking about it, like, if people are listening to this and thinking you two are dickheads, you're probably not our people. So do yourself a favour and probably don't listen again. Because, like, again, the people that this gets them ramped up, and we get so many messages of like, fuck, it's just so inspiring, this, that. Whether you choose to go down the same path we did, and again, if you do want to, we can help you, brilliant. If you don't and you go and take this knowledge and learning and inspiration to do something else, fucking good on you, and we want to hear about it. But it's like, if you think we're dickheads, you're probably right. But you're also probably boring.
It's been nice, the messages you've got since this kind of was announced. Like, a lot of people want you to do well. And a lot of people are genuinely happy that we've placed and we're happy with it, and they're just so pumped. And it's people that, yes, your friends and your family, you kind of expect them to, right? That's why they're in those places in your life. But people that just watch from afar, people that, like the fellow messenger, right? They're genuinely buzzing for what you've achieved. And whatever you go and do, as Harv said, go and do that. Go and achieve, and then have that praise from people who have watched the graph you've put in and then see it come out the other side, and just have that feeling, because it's something that will light you up to then want to go and take on the next big challenge.
Oh, the best thing in the world, mate, is like, what day is it?
Tuesday.
That's what I mean. We're trying to work it out. Like, for us, it's not even like weeks and weekdays, weekends anymore. Yeah, 100%. Love the weekend, spending time with the family, but I'm not gunning for Friday. I'm like, oh my God, it's Friday. And then it's again like, it's Monday or Tuesday, but you don't know what day it is because you're not just counting down to that weekend. Like, it's just fun, hey?
We could sit here and do this forever.
Oh, yeah. What are we on? 1 hour 7. Nah, we got a bit more. Nah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, let them have it.
AFR, top 5. You heard it here first. The boys are back. Again, let us have this one. Let us give ourselves a couple of pats on the back. We deserved it.
If you think we're twats, you probably fucking just strugs anyway. Eh?
If there's anything we didn't cover there about what the AFR is, or what it actually means, or anything that, fire us a message.
Yeah. I reckon we need to bring back question time.
Okay.
We had some really, really good questions, and I think there's a lot of people that have messaged us and taken great value from certain things in this podcast that we have spoken about. But if it doesn't come into our brains, we're not going to talk about it. So I do think people should now pump in a few questions. We'll get Rosie to pump up a story.
Yeah, I love it.
The Savo, because I'm keen to unpack a few for people. It'll give it a different spin on it then.
Yeah, no, I'm a massive fan of that.
Yeah.
All right, AFR boys, over and out.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we are pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians who take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycook.com.au or follow us at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen.